I just broke a figurine on my shelves. That's awesome. Hey y'all, my name is Nat. I hope you're having a terrific day today, and for this video we are going to be doing my February TBR. Before we get into anything bookish, however, make sure to hit like and subscribe down below, as well as tell me in the comments what is a book on your February TBR. Are you reading something romantic for Valentine's Day? Are you reading something suspenseful and scary to offset Valentine's Day? Let's talk about it. Alright, so it is the second month of doing my double TBR jar game. I had a lot of fun with this last month, even though I didn't actually read one of those books. And I have to go let Sam out because he's being all dramatic. So if you didn't see my new TBR game, I just broke a figurine on my shelves. That's awesome. Anyway, if you didn't see my new TBR jar game that I posted last month, basically I have dual TBR jars, one for my physical shelves and one for my digital shelves. Whatever books I pull, I have to do a weekly vlog out of them. My most recent one actually just came out, so I'll put a link to that in the cards up above. I did terrible at reading off of my own TBR last month, so we're gonna start with those first. Okay, so let's do this one. I guess that works out for what I was just saying. Now I have to draw a second prompt from my owned TBR jar. Okay, how about a gifted book? Okay, I can do that. Okay, so for a gifted book, I'm gonna do Well Traveled by Jen DeLuca, because this is also the next book in the series. Possibly finishing it out. I'm not sure how many are gonna be in the series. This is set at the same Renaissance fair as the rest of the books, and this one is following Dex, who is a bit of a player, and Lulu, who is new to the fair and actually kind of throws herself into it. She ends up traveling with Dex's band. I think there's some sort of a romance. Have heard that it's a little bit more serious, kind of going like that Emily Henry route, where the story is more focusing on like Lulu's growth as a person with a side of romance. So I might really like that, or I might not. Either way, I probably will read this pretty quickly, and it's a romance book for Valentine's Day, so you see, works out. As for my second owned TBR prompt, let's go with this one. These books will deconstruct. I meant to make a list like this, but I didn't. So really, this is more gonna be like a book off of my 10 books for 2023 list. That video came out not too long ago, so I'll put a link to that in the cards if you're interested. I think for this one, I'm gonna go with We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. This I put on there because I borrowed this from Josh, and anytime he comes over to my house, he asks if I've read it yet, and I keep having to say no, so I can't give it back to him. I know this story is following two best friends who I think haven't seen each other in quite a while because one of them ran away after somebody in her family passed away, or something along those lines. I know this tackles grief. We'll see if this will make me cry. As for my digital TBR, let's see. Okay, let's go with this one. A Goodreads Choice Award pick from last year. So, in this case, 2022. Let me go pull that up. Okay, so let's go to Goodreads 2022 Choice Awards, and thankfully this very kindly will tell me what books are on my TBR and what aren't. What genre am I feeling? I've got like contemporary and romance. So let's say like mystery thriller. See what's on there. I'm sure I have some of these on my TBR. Killers of a Certain Age, which I am intrigued by because it sounds like a feminist version of that movie Red with Bruce Willis, and I love that movie. It's so entertaining. So I do want to read this. That might be it. I sort of unofficially have Things We Do in the Dark on my TBR. I just have never officially put it on there. I'm also feeling some horror, so let's look at horror. What do we got over here? Juniper and Thorn. This is a strong possibility. I still have not received my copy from my friend Allie because she very kindly is going to give it to me, but it hasn't come in from the mail yet. Children on the Hill by Jennifer McMahon. I still don't really know how to pronounce that. I think this is like a Frankenstein retelling, sorta. Just Like Mother by Anne Heltzel. I am really intrigued by this one. I think this was like one of Lexi's favorite books of the year, I'm pretty sure. I know Lexi really liked this book. I also have Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison. That's really hard because I like her a lot after reading Cackle, and I want to try this one out because it's kind of like cozy horror. Frick, I have so many good choices on here. Shoot, I don't know what to pick. This is hard. I can't decide. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go with Just Like Mother by Anne Heltzel, mostly because I'm very intrigued by it and I know it's a cult book, and I haven't really read many cult books, but I love the idea of them. I'm fascinated by cults, and I've heard so much praise for this book from 𝗖cie and Michelle. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pick Just Like Mother. There you go. That's my 3 books for my TBR jars. Okay, so that took entirely too long, but I do have a few other books on my TBR for the month, one of which I do actually own, so at least we're continuing to work down that owned TBR. Thick and Other Essays by Tressie McMillan Cotton. This I picked up because I know it is a collection of essays talking about beauty and the media, money, power, all that sort of stuff. Particularly those sort of buzzwords together definitely make me think this is going to talk about beauty standards, as well as with the title. I think it does also discuss body image issues, which is a topic that I really enjoy reading about. I've talked about that before. It was very relevant to my thesis that I did in college, so it's a topic I've done a lot of research in, and with that, I am interested to read this. I've not actually heard many people talk about it, but it's obviously a nonfiction read, so it will fulfill that little mini goal I have for myself every month. Another mini goal I have for myself every month is to read a comic from my TBR, so I think I'm gonna continue on the Harley Quinn 2013 run. So the next one is actually kind of a 0.5, and it's Harley Quinn and Power Girl teaming up, which we saw a little bit of that in, I think it was either volume 2 or volume 3, which was incredibly entertaining, and I want to see more of those two. I don't know if this is the full volume or if it's just an issue, maybe 2, but it sounds like it's going to be really entertaining, and that way I can continue on that run, and I've been working on it for quite some time, so this is me trying to make progress on it. Along with those, I also have 2 arcs that I received from NetGalley that I want to try and get read. One of them is Clytemnestra by Constanta Casati. This one is following the main character of Clytemnestra, who was married to Agamemnon. He ended up killing their child. I think this is going to be a very interesting perspective to look at, because quite often Clytemnestra is kind of vilified in many of the stories we see. The cover is absolutely stunning and what originally caught my attention, but then I saw who it was about and I was very intrigued. I have read a little bit of Clytemnestra's story from other Greek retelling books. Right at the top of the blurb is for fans of Madeline Miller's 𝗖cie. If you couldn't see it on my shelves, I am quite a fan of it. I'm very excited for it. The other arc I'm hoping to work on is Something Wild and Wonderful by Anita Kelly. This is the next book set in the same universe as Love and Other Disasters. I really enjoyed that one, so I've been intrigued to pick this one up. I've already heard M from 21 Readers praising it, even though it doesn't come out until March. This one is a male-male romance where we are following 2 men who are actually hiking the Pacific Coast Trail and keep running into one another. I believe M talked about that there is a great discussion of trying to find yourself in this book, but also obviously it's going to have a adorable romance. I can't wait. I really enjoyed Anita Kelly's writing and the character work they did with their first book, meaning I'm incredibly excited to see more of their work in this follow-up. Finally is the one book club read I am currently planning to do. It's always possible that others will get announced and I won't be able to resist. My personal book club is going to be reading Head Over Heels by Hannah Ornstein. I have this on my TBR, but I don't really remember what it's about. I think it's following a ex-gymnast who was injured before she could make it into the Olympics like she was hoping, and then she falls for this coach that she starts working with in coaching a new up-and-coming star. I think it has some serious discussions in it, if I remember correctly. I really want to say Jess at Books Past Bedtime read this, and that's where I heard about it. Other than Jess, I don't really know if I've heard anybody talk about this, so I don't have many expectations going in. So on top of those 8 books, I'm also planning to participate in the 72 Hours in the Haunted House Readathon. This is being hosted by a bunch of wonderful booktubers. I'll link all that information for it in the description down below. You should definitely check it out and join us. The idea is that you have the spinner wheels, and those kind of guide you with some sort of a prompt, and then you base your reading off of that prompt. I'm actually going to be making my decisions as I film a vlog for that, so I know I'm going to be participating, and I know I will probably be alternating between the thriller and horror wheels, but that's all I really know at this point. But apart from that, that is it for today. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, guys. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. I have all my socials as well as a few ways you can support me linked in the description. I come out with videos on Monday and Friday, but until then, I hope you continue to have a terrific day. Love you, bye!